What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back at it again with another banger, my friends. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
So after dominating South Florida, South Carolina climbs back up in the polls and finds themselves at number 2 in the nation in the latest polls released earlier yesterday. And it's well-deserved. You know, the Gamecocks are definitely back in their bag after losing to UCLA. They've been on an absolute tear, blowing the doors off of everybody. And they've gotten back to playing their style of basketball, which is two things. One, crippling defense, suffocating defense, forcing turnovers and making the other team extremely uncomfortable. And then on the other side, getting the ball inside and scoring points in the paint. We've seen this team kind of settle for a lot of perimeter jumpers more so than any other year. Now, we know it's well documented. There's no Aaliyah Boston. There's no Asia Wilson. There's no Camila Cardoso on this team. There's not one dominant big. They're having to do it by committee.
Well, we've been really intentional about getting the ball. I mean, really, really intentional. I think earlier in the season we were pretty guard heavy in what we were doing and the amount of shots that we were taking, and we weren't giving them as many looks as we needed to give them. So we've been working on being intentional about getting them the ball, and they've done a great job of just moving the chain when it comes to their production. From a rebounding, from a defensive standpoint, and now offensively it's starting to click for some of them.
Joyce Edwards led the way for this team last game out, man. And it's just impressive to see, one, the development and the confidence and the talent that she has, the raw ability already in year one. She has the potential to be that next big-time All-American player in the post for this group. And I think it was very well said by Coach Staley, working on getting her more touches, working on getting Sanaya Fagan, who's been around this program for some years, waited her term and exploded last game as well, finishing second in points. And then Chloe Kitts, another player that has waited her turn, that is a national champion as well, that has put in the work to develop her game and take it to the next level to be the number one scoring option this year. Now, her minutes have fluctuated depending on the matchup, but she is definitely a player that should be getting the most shot opportunities, that should be getting a touch almost every possession, because she is that talented of a scorer and that reliable on the glass as well. She's continued to just take her game to the next level, expand it with the jump shot. Now, we know she can hit the mid-range. She's expanded her range out to the three-point line as well. But I think other than that, just her back to the basket game, her tenacity down low, the muscle that she's put on to kind of shape her body more so over the offseason that Coach Staley talked about. Chloe Kitts is a player that absolutely needs to be mandatory. It needs to be a priority for her to get her touches. But we saw South Carolina get more paint points than we've seen in the last several games from them. Chloe Kitts, a monster down there. Sanaya Fagan, definitely showing flashes of what she can do as a veteran with this group. Just so skilled, big, physical, mobile. Joyce Edwards, a super talented freshman that's definitely going to have a bright future. But it's showing us a lot right now, and is definitely a player that needs to get the basketball. You still got Ashlyn Watkins down there as well. Miriam Dowda, kind of the odd man out in this lineup. But the bigs can definitely still be a strength of this team. It's not going to be one player dominating the basketball and commanding double teams. This season, we're seeing the front court of South Carolina get the job done by committee. And I think Coach Staley's done a great job of putting together lineups, balancing out minutes, putting players in position to succeed, but also being sure to ride the hot hand. We're getting back to South Carolina brand basketball, man, where they are just pounding it in the paint, dominating the glass, just using their size, their depth. Now, I will say, South Florida definitely played them tough and rebounded the ball well. But South Carolina, man, where they lack star power, they lack a true star in the front court right now as we speak. They make up for it with depth and versatility as well, because all these bigs bring a different aspect to the game. And it's exciting to see. I think we will continue to see Ashlyn Watkins improve and command minutes. Chloe Kitts will still continue to have a breakout season she's having. Joyce Edwards will command minutes and continue to be a valuable boost of energy, versatility, and just flat out a dog on the court for this team, man. Playing the 4 and the 5. There's a lot of versatility. I think as they continue to play fast and beat other bigs down the court, this front court is going to be very hard to keep up with because all these bigs are agile and can really get up and down the court and play fast. And they're all ready to catch and shoot. They're good in transition. They fill the lanes well. And they play hard, man. They're not taking any plays off. And that's the depth of keeping fresh legs as well. South Carolina back at number 2. Will they get another crack at UCLA? That is definitely something to keep an eye out on, man. But they are gearing up for SEC play after the holiday. And it's going to be major to see them against Texas, to see them against LSU, where it feels like Coach Don Staley and Kim Mulkey have turned into the new generation of Gino Auriemma and Pat Summitt, the way these two teams have gone at each other. She's still trying to get that first win over South Carolina, though. I got to throw that in there. But Oklahoma joining this fold as well with Reagan Beers, a really good team that I don't think is getting talked about enough. We mentioned Texas. We mentioned Mississippi State's coming in. Kentucky trying to get something going with Kenny Brooks. Tennessee is going to be a very tough matchup. We just saw them hit 30-plus threes to break an all-time record as it stood at that time. For an all-women's hoop, still it's a record, but it was an all-basketball NBA record as well till it was broken the other night. But Tennessee is going to absolutely be a tough matchup. Don't sleep on them. We will continue to have more updates, more news, and more breakdowns regarding the SEC. Y'all make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, and join our memberships to stay up with the latest and the greatest. We got that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Y'all know, follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV as well. Hey, until next time, we out.